Hello. I'm forewarning you. If you see this video and you see me in this shirt multiple times, I'm telling you why. So what? Because I'm doing a lot of different videos in one. Okay? Okay. Anyways, this is what I want to talk about. One of my subscribers asked the question of how to be more intimate and emotionally available. And how to not stop yourself from doing that. Okay, and look, for all those people who don't want to hear none of my personal stories, and it's like, oh, you always make things personal about yourself. Okay, what I want you to do right now is I want you to stop, take several seats back, okay, get comfortable in those chairs, however you like to do your seating style, and click to the next video to somebody else, because this is how I want to do what I want to do. All right. So boom, boom, bang. Anyways, for the rest of us, let's continue on. I'm saying that as somebody that teaches, I am also a student. The roles are the same thing. If you cannot ever be a student and you feel like, oh, I'm beyond that because I know every freaking thing, then guess what? You're only going to get past a certain level. And that's all I'm going to say. You have to be able to be both. And in order for you to be able to be both, that means that you have either came across a certain information or have been the student that actually lived certain stuff out. I'm going to tell you something. At my age, I have lived through a bunch of stuff. Not everything, not majority stuff, but a bunch of stuff. And a lot of people wouldn't even know it. Okay. But now that where I am, that I am at the spot that I am right now, I see why I had to go through it. Okay. Being intimate. Okay. And how do you let down your guard? I'm going to tell you right now. The thing that is stopping you from being open and intimate and letting down your guard and filled with emotional blocks is fear. Yes. It's that simple. I know it seems like what? It's just no. It's fear. The question that you have to ask yourself really is, where does this fear come from? Where? Is it something that sprang from childhood because I don't know how to be intimate, but I'm afraid to ask myself the question of how, because I think that my behavior is normal? Is it fear because I have been open and emotionally available once, twice, maybe 3 times, I don't know, and things didn't go right, so now I'm saying screw the world and screw myself even more? Still ringing, it's about something that you fear. Is it because I feel like nobody will understand me, or awkward? I don't know. It's many reasons, but getting down to the wire and the point of those reasons for yourself is what really needs to happen and take place. If not, I promise you, you're going to attract that situation back to you. You're going to attract yourself to people that are emotionally unavailable. You are attracting yourself to them. They're attracting yourself to you. You're vibrating. Vibrating this energy back and forth. Intimacy. I had a very big problem with that. I've always had men. See, this is why I love men. Like, I don't have a problem with men. Like, of course I say like the whole thing about abuse and all that, you know what I'm saying? But in my own now, hey, I don't get me wrong. I've came across some situations that was not good, but and for the fact that I know different stuff, I don't really want to get into details. I know different stuff because of the type of work that I do and the messages that I get channeled and visions and all that. I'm aware of a lot of stuff, but in my own personal life with like the guys that I actually consider to be in a relationship with, or like I really have feelings for, they treated me good. I'm not gonna lie, because this is not about poor women and men is doing this and that. This is not what it's about. When I'm speaking certain stuff on women's behalf, I'm giving that to give feminine energy, because that's what spirit wants you to know. And I use the word spirit loosely because whatever, everybody has their own different understandings of what that is, and I hate having to be politically correct about every freaking thing to fit everybody. So I just stopped putting words on certain stuff and just describing it. But I did not know how to be emotionally available, expressive, intimate, really, with them back. Here I am admitting that. I didn't admit that to them, you know what I'm saying? But I end up admitting that to my daughter's father, because at the time I didn't know that was going on. And the reason why is because me growing up, I did not experience that. And my parents was here for me like all the time. I'm talking about still till this day. But in there, when you looking through, going back, or really paying attention to everything and seeing what everything, like the truth of everything for what it really is and was, and going back and investigating certain stuff, they didn't have that in their homes. They were able and more committed to being there and here for their children. But when it gets to the intimate parts, no. Okay. Which is my love of my parents. I'm not knocking them. This is about just the fact that if you don't know how, you won't do. That's it. Like, okay. So it wasn't until I stopped and I really became aware of myself, and I noticed that things weren't right. And I was tired of doing and living the same thing in the same way. And I felt like I had to do something different. Okay. I first asked myself the question of why? Like, why am I so hesitant and afraid and like, when it comes to being intimate with somebody? And to let my guard down completely. And I realized I didn't know how to. I started doing research. I started asking myself, how? Like, why do you feel like you can't? Some of us are not naturally equipped to do certain stuff. Like, it's not that we don't have the potential, because we had the potential to do anything. It's just that we may be more mentally based or more passionately based, because passion is not necessarily emotions, or whatever, so it just depends on the type of person you are and your upbringing and different stuff, and or your own mental blocks that you have, but I started doing research, and I started looking into it, and I started asking myself these questions, and I was like, why? And I came up with the fact that I didn't know how, and I started asking myself, well, how? First, I'm going to tell you, number one, first and foremost, what you have to do is be able to be intimate and open with yourself. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true, because you can use yourself to practice on. When you are feeling a certain type of way, when you are feeling uncomfortable, when certain thoughts start getting into your head, when you feel like you need love or whatever, you simply, yes, I'm saying this to you, talk to yourself and you ask yourself, what's wrong? And don't sit here and laugh. I'm being serious. Or don't. Self, what is wrong? Are you okay today? What do you need? I love you. And look in the mirror and practice looking dead in your own eyes and saying, in response to yourself, I'm just feeling insecure right now because I feel like I'm single and I feel like I don't have anybody that really loves me, or I'm feeling like needy or clingy or something, or like I need attention. And I know that I want love, and I know that I have attention, and that's what I want. And I know that I don't depend on anybody else necessarily to give that to me. And I look around and I ask the question of, am I loved? Do I have love in my life? And because it could be from other people, friends, family, kids. It doesn't matter. Do I love myself? Yes, I do. I do. What can I be appreciative about? Then, self, you know what? Thank you so much for always being there as a support system, as somebody that's going to care and look out for my best interest, even when I don't necessarily. Self, thank you. And I mean, you could go on and on and on. It doesn't have to limit there, but practice being open with yourself about how you're feeling, why it's not really true or true, whatever the case may be, and about getting rid of that and those thought processes and feelings or whatever. And practicing on yourself helps you when you're in personal settings with somebody else. Now, another thing. When you actually go and you're communicating with somebody that's of interest, like in a relationship or something, or getting to know somebody, I'm not saying to go out and spill all of your guts and everything. You have to be able to feel if this situation may be right for you or not, and you will get all the signs ahead of time. Trust me. And even if you've been in situations like this that didn't go so good, don't let it stop yourself from, because I'm thinking about it. A lot of times, you made bad choices when it came to choosing somebody for you and who you trusted, even when they gave you nothing to trust them for, no reasons at all, and then you get upset with them, and now you hate everybody, or you don't want to open up to anybody because of a few bad circumstances. So just get out of that, get out of the past, be present. And like I said, working with yourself is going to help you to let your guard down, because then you will understand, like, well, by me sitting here being fearful and afraid of intimacy and afraid of losing control emotionally, or whatever the case may be, I'm only harming myself because I want this though. I can see if you didn't want it and you're like, okay, well, I don't want this. But if you want it and you know you do, you're like, well, I want this though, so why am I sabotaging this for myself? Why can't I just let go? And how you let go is just to simply let go. Deal with yourself. Be there for yourself. Make yourself feel good. Show up. Encourage. Pour your emotions out. Speak them out loud. Handle them by reassuring yourself, validating yourself from yourself, getting rid of fear. As you start to practice with yourself, you'll start to feel or understand or see how, okay, and you go out and you start being more open with others. And then when you're involving yourself in relationships with your partner or whatever, you're able to directly say what it is that you're feeling without acting like they should have already known or feel like they should solve it. You could say, I'm feeling pissed off because I really wanted this to go another type of way, or I really wanted to eat chicken, turkey instead of fried chicken. Okay, well, honey, you can get turkey. Would you like to eat turkey tomorrow night then? It's a more smoother process. People are afraid of being open and intimate or whatever and emotionally available when it's really the easiest route to go. Because it's either that or now you sitting up mad in your room for hours because somebody didn't remember to do something you feel like they should have remembered, or they didn't read your mind because you're emotionally unavailable. Now you're mad because you feel like you're pushing them away, and or they feel like you're pushing them away and you don't really want to be bothered, but yet you do, and you really want them to come and understand you and this and that, but you're never really saying it or showing these things because you're blocked. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop there because there's many, many, many other things that I can add on to ways of helping being more open and intimate and emotionally available. Okay? This was just one thing. And I'm going to stop right there. But feel free to email me and go and like me on my Facebook page. Okay? I'll be adding stuff here and there. Just have patience with me. Okay? You just do the first step. All right. Take care. Bye.